This is Ag Matters PM from the Iowa Agribusiness Radio Network, brought to you by the Iowa Soybean Association, your daily recap of the information that affects Iowa's farmers, producers, and consumers, right here in the heart of the heartland. With reports from our award-winning broadcast team of Dustin Hoffman, Riley Smith, and Mark Magnuson. Now, from the IARN studios in Des Moines, here's Dustin Hoffman.
Good day, everyone, and welcome to Ag Matters PM from the Iowa Agribusiness Radio Network. I'm Dustin Hoffman. Today is Friday, August the 4th, 2023, less than a week to go till the Iowa State Fair. We're so glad you could join us. Coming up in this program, we're going to talk with Bushel CEO Jake Joraanstad about a new app that they've designed and talk about the work they're doing to help with elevators and grain management apps and how you can be part of the new ADM app if you are a customer of that facility. We also take a look at that ag weather outlook, but first, let's run down those markets. It's time now for the Ag Matters PM Closing Market Summary, your source for market analysis and settlement prices from the day's trade in Chicago, courtesy of the folks at agmarket.net. Well, we're at the end of another trading day, and it's time to talk with Kaden Sweeney of agmarket.net. Kaden, I know overnight, in the beginning of the day, markets were kind of shooting themselves out of a cannon, but have things settled down here as the day went on?
Yeah, we're still going to close green, but like you said, we're definitely backed off where we were early this morning. Off fresh, headlines out of Russia. First thing today, corn and beans both are up, 12 to 15 cents. The way we're going to close the day, corn up about 4, beans up 8 or so. So with the week we've had, we'll take any green we can get. Corn's down about 30 cents on the week. December, no beans down, 50 cents or so. But yeah, like you said, kind of the same story we saw earlier in the week where we were up strong overnight and lost it during the day.
Yeah, and we've been kind of waiting for something to break out of that side of the world because it has been relatively quiet for big news here for a couple of days, and the market's just kind of left to their own devices and worrying about weather forecasts. But I'm sure weather's still a big factor into that. I mean, are we hearing anything out of that side of it as well?
Yeah, just looking before I came on, forecast for the Midwest over the next 10 days, pretty cool and wet compared to what we had the last week to 10 days. So that definitely has the market's attention, although those long range forecasts have kind of been around. And I think that's, attributing to a lot of the selling that you've seen this week. But overall, I think you gotta pay attention to what the market's doing. Whenever you fail to rally on bullish news, that kind of tells you the temperament of the market right now. And right now that temperament is lower.
Well, then, obviously we're going to be getting crop tours starting to go out, starting to get more boots on the ground. I'm sure the market's going to be paying very close attention to that because everything has been, I shouldn't say speculation, but it hasn't been seen with some of the farmers' own eyes and some of those scouts' own eyes as well.
Yeah, crop tour definitely will have a lot of eyes on it, as will next Friday's WASI. I think right now we're just in a little bit of a lull in terms of new fundamental data. Market's kind of floundering and continuing to leak off, but I think it's ready for new data. Get some yield estimates next Friday and the crop tour after that. Like you said, a lot of people in the trade just want to know, what's out there. You see pictures now and then on Twitter, but it's good to get boots on the ground and get, a more strong feeling, actually counting kernels and such.
So looking at the livestock trade, starting in cattle, obviously for the last week or more, packers and feedlots have been kind of just having a staring contest, waiting for someone to blink. Did anybody blink here today?
Haven't seen anything today. I saw overnight maybe a little bit traded, mid 185s high or maybe up to 190. But really, the kind of market overall, it's good and strong today. Both up over $1 again. Feeders this week have really liked corn selling off, but like I said, both going to be strong today. Live cattle up $1.60. Feeders actually going to be up $2 or so. So good day, for the livestock as we continue to see that lately. Feeder cattle continuing to try to push contract highs.
All right, and what about on the hog side of things? Anything going on there today?
Yeah, hog side, technically speaking, we're up another $1 today. Certainly good. Technically speaking, if you look at October chart, we're pinned right between the 100-day and 200-day moving averages. Have been for most of July. So right now I said on October, that's coming in between 80 to 81, and then on the bottom end about 87, 86. I'm sorry, 86 on the top end. So right now that's where your support resistance are, about 81 and about 86. I think in the near term continue to see the hog market trade in between those pretty major areas for the funds until we see something break out up or down.
All right. Well, Kaden, thanks for the insight here today. If folks want to get in touch with agmarket.net to talk with everybody there, how do they get in touch?
Yes, sir. Just go to our website, agmarket.net, contact page on there. We'll get you in touch with myself or anyone on our team. You can also try out the free trial of everything that we offer to our customers.
All right, Kaden. Well, we thank you for everything, and we'll talk to you again real soon.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you guys. Have a good one.
That again was Kaden Sweeney of agmarket.net. Let's take a look at the closing numbers now. That comes to us courtesy of the folks at Bar Chart. September corn up 3.5 at 484 1/4. December new crop up 3 3/4 at 497 1/4. September beans up a nickel at 13.87 even. November up 8 at 13.33 1/4. Soybean meal for September down $4.50 at 422.60. Soy oil up $1.35 at 65.39. Chicago wheat up 5 1/4 at 660 1/4. Minneapolis down 9 3/4 at 837 3/4. Kansas wheat down 12 3/4 at 769 1/4. December oats down a nickel at 439 even. August live cattle $2.40 higher at 180.90. Feeder cattle $1.57 higher at 249.52. Lean hogs up 2 cents at 101.02. October up $1.02 at 83.07. Pork cutouts up $1.15 at 93.10. Class 3 milk was 11 cents higher at 17.20. And that's been a check of the Ag Market Recap. We're going to take a short break and hear from our sponsor, the Iowa Soybean Association and the Soy Checkoff. When we come back, I talk with Bushel's Jake Joraanstad. This is Ag Matters PM.
Iowa Soybean Association is driven to deliver for Iowa's 40,000 soybean farmers. We're proud to provide objective agronomic research, a helping hand with soil and water stewardship, and timely industry news powered by the Soybean Checkoff. Learn more at iasoybeans.com.
Welcome back to AMPM from the Iowa Agribusiness Radio Network. I'm Dustin Huffman. Well, more and more data is being more streamlined in the global marketplace. Long gone are the file cabinets full of folders and the endless hours poring over books and putting this number into this chart to see how things are changing. Everything now can be integrated, working with other programs, and everything comes right to your fingertips. That includes your grain selling, your contracts, and everything else that has to do with moving that grain once you've got it out of the field. ADM has a new Fieldview app that was designed by Bushel. We talk with their CEO, Jake Joraanstad, right now. We're talking right now with Bushel CEO Jake Joraanstad here on the Iowa Agribusiness Radio Network. And Jake, we thank you so much for taking the time to visit with us today.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
So let's first talk about Bushel and what it is you guys do, and then we can use that to lead into this new project that we're going to be talking about today.
Yeah, so if you haven't heard of Bushel, we're based out of Fargo, North Dakota, but across the Midwest, our team's based, and we've done a lot of work in software for agriculture. So we do work with grain companies, co-ops, ethanol plants, mills, ag retailers to enable sort of a better digital solution for them and their farmers. So you won't go find the Bushel app in a store, but you will find our customers' apps like ADM Fieldview, and the farmer can log in with their phone number or email. They can see everything from their grain contracts and settlements to bids and futures and a lot more in the tool. And it kind of covers about right now we have over 2,600 locations in the U.S. and Canada where farmers can do business with our tool.
All right, and so we're going to talk more specifically about that ADM Fieldview, which is kind of what's been released. Tell us a little bit about, you kind of give us the 30,000 foot view there, but kind of talk about what that project's going to mean for the customers there.
Yeah, so if you're an ADM customer, if you're a farmer that sells grain to any of their facilities, I think there's 7 in Iowa, you can now go online to admfarmview.com, or you can go find the ADM Fieldview app in the store. Log in with your account you might already have with ADM. If you don't have a one, you can create it there and their team will get you set up. And you can now basically, in the easiest way possible and probably the best experience you'll have, be able to jump in and see everything from the bids at your facility to those contracts you've got in place. You can look at historicals, you can look at current contracts, settlements, and every single ticket that you have delivering into that facility is available in the tool. So that's kind of step one of the process that we have with customers like ADM, and we're pretty excited to bring that to their incredible, base of farms that they do business with here in the United States and Canada.
So I know that, from the standpoint of doing all that kind of stuff, obviously we've come a long way from paper documents and having to do all that, but having an app that can do all that, similar to what ADM is doing or what Bushel is providing for all their clients and customers that they have in the U.S. and Canada, what noticeable difference is that going to be for a farmer, and how does that free up their day-to-day activities?
Yeah, just if you haven't used the Bushel tool from us before, it's going to be a fun experience. So think about the fall harvest. You're out there in the combine, and you got trucks running to town, or your team's trying to figure out, do we got to make 3 more loads into town, or are we set? That's where this tool comes in. And in the fall here is super handy. So you can see everything from the current balance on a contract and how many more deliveries you might need to make on that contract, to every ticket you're checking, whether it's you're checking moisture content or you're checking protein levels on your soybeans you're delivering. You can see all that in the tool while it's happening with ADM. And so it makes your life a lot easier. And there's actually a whole lot of other things you can do with the tool and some of the other tools that Bushel provides. Some of our customers on a tool called Bushel Farm are based out of Iowa. There's a lot of farmers there that use that tool. That tool can sync up to that. And so you can see your whole operation. You can see your contract positions across your whole operation. And so there's a lot to be done, but starting simply, making a great experience if you're a farmer that does business with ADM.
All right, and obviously record keeping is a big deal, whether you're ADM, whoever you're doing business with. Now, obviously, the software has changed a lot and made it a lot easier for us to put all that together. And a lot of our programs that we deal with in agriculture interface with them, or at least make the information very easy to put into those records. Does Bushel interface, or at least make it easier for us to get that information into our business models and stuff that we're using?
Yeah, good question. So just your ADM Fieldview app, for example, you can export your tickets or your contracts or your settlements for yourself and drop them into a file that you need, or a folder, or email them to yourself, whatever you want to do there. If you're using the Bushel Farm app separately, you can generate proof of yield reports and all kinds of things out of there. And there's a lot more tools coming. On the Bushel Farm side of the operation, if you use our farm management software there, you can connect your John Deere account, you can connect your Climate Field View, and all of your activities you're doing on the field show up in one place. And then, of course, you connect your contracts from your Bushel-powered facilities like ADM, and now the farmer can see the revenue and the expenses on the operation in one place. And so we're doing our best to build a vision in agriculture that's connected, that the farmer's not constantly having to put in a double entry form here, typing this in there, trying to take pictures of a scale ticket here. That all goes away as we continue to make progress, digitizing this for the farm.
Okay, and I guess I know the question I would have last here for you, Jake, is one that a lot of people have when it comes to technology. How do we know our data is going to be secure, for what we're sharing and what we're putting into that app?
Yeah, it's really an important question. So kind of just thinking about, and this applies to everybody in the technology space, but for Bushel, our view is this. One is the farmer and the facilities have the permission with the information, and unless that permission's been granted explicitly, that information isn't shared, right? So your scale tickets, your contracts, that's up to you and ADM's relationship, and that's very explicit. Additionally, where Bushel does handle that data, we have, our stuff's in the cloud, some of these cloud platforms where there's just a ton of security work that already comes with the platform. And then Bushel operates in an environment we call SOC 2 compliance. You may not know what that means, but it's a very sort of enterprise level security operation. So you know who has access to what at any time and how you handle things like passwords and such in your business. We're one of the only ag tech companies that has the capacity to handle this kind of data and meet those stringent requirements of companies like ADM. And so you can be pretty confident that at Bushel, we've got that information understood and it's secured and it's not going off to some foreign country or wherever else you might think it's going.
All right, so we've got listeners, viewers out there that are ADM customers and want to know more about what they need to do to get started on that. What's the best way for them to proceed on getting signed up?
ADMFarmview.com. Pretty simple, and you'll land there, and you can either set your account up or you can log right in and get started.
All right, well, Jake, I thank you so much for taking the time to share this with us about the ADM Fieldview app and also what Bushel does behind the scenes on those apps to help make the farmers' lives a lot more simple.
Yeah, well, I appreciate it. And to all our friends and farmers in Iowa, good luck with the harvest, and hopefully our tools make your life better.
And that, again, was Bushel CEO Jake Joraanstad here on Ag Matters PM. Let's take a look now at the Ag Weather Outlook. Well, there's been a mix of clouds and sun across most of the state. Of course, check local listings to see just how many clouds you did get. But more clouds are going to start rolling their way in, and chances of rain are going to go up, but mostly going to be just scattered here and there showers and thunderstorms, at least for the next 24 hours, according to the National Weather Service.
We've seen that mix of clouds and sun here throughout the day today. Slight chance of scattered showers and thunderstorms that was developing over the west. We saw highs anywhere today from the low 80s to the low 90s. Now tonight we're going to see an increased chance of some scattered showers and storms across the state. Lows will be in the mid-60s to around 70. Then tomorrow, mostly cloudy, maybe a few pokes of sun here and there around the state, but a slight chance of showers and storms statewide. And that's going to bring us a high tomorrow in the low to mid-80s. Now moving over to the affiliate weather map. Tomorrow, Cherokee, partly sunny, chance of showers and storms, 82. Shenandoah, partly sunny, showers and storms, that's the same as Albia, and a high of 83 in both of those locations. In Des Moines, look for it to be partly sunny, chance of showers and storms, and 84. Waterloo, partly sunny, chance of showers and storms, 85. Clinton, a little bit more sunny, maybe just some light clouds, but there is still that chance of some.
For more detailed forecasts in your area, tune to your local Iowa Agribusiness Radio Network affiliate. And that's been the Ag Weather Outlook. And with that, we're at the end of today's show. Again, you can find all our content online at iowaagnet.com. You can follow us on Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, TikTok, and on our YouTube channel. And while you're there, don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon so you can be notified every time we put out a new video project. We also have free twice daily market podcasts on Google, Amazon, Apple, Spotify, and Podbean. From the IARN studios in Des Moines, I'm Dustin Huffman. For Mark Magnuson and Riley Smith, we thank you for watching. This has been Ag Matters PM.